So welcome back guys to another video, and rather it's an HD remaster or a more convenient way of playing a title that we grew up and love, or maybe it's a couch co-op with now online features. There are those games that we cannot stop buying, and that's what I want to make my video today. I want to talk about some games that I cannot stop buying whatsoever. Now the first game I want to talk about, and an inspiration on this video, is Final Fantasy VII on the Nintendo Switch. First off, Final Fantasy VII on a Nintendo console, that's freaking iconic right there. Secondly, and ironically, I made a video saying that I was never going to go back to this game, that it's officially retired, that I'm done with it. I've played it for so many years, I'm done. I don't have to play it anymore. But here I was buying it. I have it on PS3, I have it on PS4, I have it on Steam, and now Nintendo Switch. I originally played it on the PlayStation 1. But I will say one thing that I do like about the Nintendo Switch port of Final Fantasy VII, it shares the same features as the PS4 and Steam re-release, is the enhanced mode. The fact that you can speed up the time of the game, it's easier to get limit breaks and whatnot, and it makes grinding not so much of a daunting task. It can be very easy for casuals to pick it up, but also for some of us veterans that grew up playing it on the PlayStation that just want to go by nostalgia lane, just go and stroll down that road. We can do that without grinding for 20 hours just to beat the Emerald Weapon. Now the next game I want to talk about is probably one of my favorite games of all time. It's definitely related to one of my favorite series of all time, and that is Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I had this on PlayStation, I have it on PS3, I have a physical copy out of a compilation on the 360, this Konami Classics Volume 1. It comes with Super C, Frogger, and Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I even rebought Castlevania Requiem that comes with Rondo of Blood and Castlevania Symphony of the Night. And oh yeah, I had the PSP version of the Dracula X Chronicles, which Symphony of the Night was unlockable. I don't know what it is. Every time this game gets re-released, I end up just buying it again. It's a fantastic game. It's a game that I definitely just can't play in short spurts. If I pick it up and play it, I have to play all the way through, and I cannot recommend this game enough if for some reason you still have not played it. Now these two titles I want to talk about, I think I know why I kept rebuying the games. I know why now I definitely keep buying these games. And before, it was what I call chasing the arcade ghost. You know, you play games in the arcade and you get these different various versions and home ports on consoles, and you're just trying to kind of Frankenstein the best arcade experience ever. And I'm talking about Street Fighter 2 and Mortal Kombat 2. Now Street Fighter 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. I've talked about it in my top 10. And Mortal Kombat 2 is definitely up there as well. And you know, I've had it on Super Nintendo, I had it on Sega Genesis, I have Mortal Kombat 2 on the Sega Saturn. It's an okay port, but you know, I remember when Xbox 360 had the Combat Classics come out, and I remember I stayed up long enough to watch the 360 servers flip and make the game purchase online, and I bought it and played it with my friends online. And the same thing with Street Fighter 2, and I think that's the reason why I'm still buying those games to this day, is the online support, because for me personally, where I live, this is the closest I can get to having that arcade community, is playing some friends online. And the last game I wanted to talk about, it's my favorite game of all time, Super Mario Bros. 3. I've had this game so many different ways, so many times, from emulators on my phone to, you know, the Nintendo, of course, Super Nintendo with the Super Mario All-Stars, and one that I really recommend is the Super Mario Advance 4, which features Super Mario Bros. 3, but it also has these e-card levels that just totally changes the game. It's like a whole new game with the same formula. And if you don't have an e-card reader, don't worry about it, because you can actually purchase it still on the eShop on the Wii U, and it comes with those e-card levels, and I cannot recommend that enough. And you know, Super Mario Bros. 3 is, like I said before in previous videos, it's a comfort food. I remember when I was going through Hurricane Florence, I was out of town, and that was the game that I was playing on the Nintendo Switch when they announced the online service. I went ahead and purchased it right then and there, because I was like, right now I need to play Super Mario Bros. 3. And it's still a game I play every year all the way through. Anyway guys, those are some games I cannot stop rebuying. What are some titles that you just cannot say no to? I'd love to hear you with a comment below. Let's discuss this. As always guys, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and as always, happy gaming.